Hello and welcome. When we think of a school counselor, we often picture someone who just sits and gives advice. But what if I told you their role is way more strategic, more like an architect, and absolutely crucial for a student's success? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the real, multifaceted world of the school counselor.
So let's start with the big question right off the bat. If it's not just about giving advice, what is a school counselor's true strategic role inside a school? What's the bigger picture we might be missing?
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the counselor as the program's central coordinator. Then, we'll see how they get to know each student on a really deep level. After that, we'll get into the core services they provide, how they help students plan for what's next, and finally, how they build a powerful support network that goes way beyond just their office.
All right, let's jump right into our first point. Seeing the counselor as the program's central coordinator. This is a huge shift in perspective. We're not just talking about a helper anymore, we're talking about a leader, the person really steering the ship. See, counselors operate within something called a comprehensive guidance program. And the most important word there? Structured. This isn't just about reacting to problems as they pop up. No, it's a carefully planned system designed to support a student's total development. We're talking academics, future careers, and their personal and social well-being. Which brings us to this really powerful concept. The counselor is basically the architect of student success. They're the one designing the blueprints, coordinating all the moving parts, and driving the entire program forward.
Okay, so if the counselor is the architect, what's the foundation they build on? Well, it's all about understanding the student, because absolutely everything else they do starts right here.
The whole process really kicks off with two vital steps. First up is orientation. That's all about making sure new students feel welcome and can adjust smoothly to their new environment. Then comes the really fascinating part, assessment, which is the process of creating a rich, detailed picture of who each student is and what they're capable of.
Now, this assessment process has an official name, the Individual Inventory Service. And the two key words to remember here are systematic and unique. It's a very deliberate, organized process designed to figure out what makes every single student, well, them. It's all about finding their unique potential.
And just look at all the pieces that go into this profile. We're talking about so much more than just grades. This is a complete 360-degree view. It's got test scores, school records, notes from teachers, family background, and most importantly, the student's own special abilities, interests, and accomplishments. This is the kind of deep understanding that lets a counselor give truly personalized support.
So, once that solid foundation of understanding is built, the counselor can move on to the next major phase, providing the core helping services. This is where they offer both critical information and direct, personal help.
You can think of these services as standing on two main pillars. On one side, you have the information service. This is where they give students the hard data, facts about careers, different college paths, and training programs. And on the other side, you have the counseling service, which is all about building that deep personal relationship that helps a student grow and solve problems.
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? Counseling is that dedicated one-to-one relationship. It's that safe space where the focus is entirely on the student's own growth, on helping them navigate challenges, and on empowering them to solve problems and make those big life decisions.
All of this incredible support naturally flows into our fourth section, planning for the future. This is where all that self-discovery and potential gets turned into a real, concrete plan of action. It's basically the launchpad for success.
And this part of the journey has two really important steps. First is the placement service. This is the hands-on, practical help students need to get into a job or into the right college. But, and this is so important, the support doesn't just stop when they graduate. That's where the follow-up service comes in, which is all about checking in to see how they're doing out there in the real world.
And this follow-up isn't just a quick, hey, how's it going? It's a structured process using things like questionnaires, interviews, and emails. This creates an amazing feedback loop. It's not only helpful for the former student, but it gives the school invaluable information on how well its guidance program is actually working long-term.
And that brings us to our final and, maybe the most crucial section of all. Understanding the counselor's role inside a much larger, collaborative support system. We can call this the network effect.
Here's the bottom line. A counselor can't do it all alone. They just can't. Their real impact, their effectiveness, is massively multiplied when they team up and collaborate with other key people in a student's life.
This image just shows that network perfectly.
The counselor is right there in the middle, like the hub of a weir, connecting the student to their parents, their teachers, school administrators, and even people out in the community. Every single one of these connections makes that student's support system stronger.
So at the end of the day, the counselor is that central hub, that coordinator who makes sure everyone is on the same page and pulling in the same direction for the student. That synergy, that's what creates the biggest possible impact and makes sure no one falls through the cracks.
And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question to think about. If every single student had access to this kind of comprehensive, coordinated, and caring support system, what could they achieve? Just imagine the possibilities. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.